Yeah, that much voice will be okay. So I noticed earlier that I knew that I had to save for Yelan as soon as I heard that Yelan is coming in the second phase. So I started saving for as much as I could, and in doing so, I nearly completed all of my quests. I am generally left with, you can see, only this much amount of world quests. So then I decided, okay,
Peace prevails throughout the land, and all things
I
are made
remembered
new, as
there is
buds
one
on
thing that I
spring.
could do, and that is I haven't done any of my Hangout events. The only Hangout event I have done is of Bennett, and I have done only a single ending of Lila, as you can see. So today I am planning to start new Hangout events, and I think the first I'm going to start from them will be Lynette. So I'm going to start it, begin Hangout. One Hangout event on completing of all endings gave us nearly about 60 primos. Yep, 60 primos. So my focus will be to gain those 60 primos in this video. We will be going through Lynette's story quest or Lynette's Hangout event. I haven't done it till now yet. So let's just see. You guys might have done it before. I just forgot that I have so much Hangout events pending. So let's enjoy what does the Hangout event for Lynette have in store for us. You get Lynette with a kitty cat. Ah, a cat with a cat. Don't say she's going to understand.
Meow.
Approach. Let's just cast her. She already got scared in this.
It's you. 1 second. Now activating chat mode. You made me jump there. I thought they'd finally caught me.
Made you jump? Barely, I didn't notice. Is someone out to kidnap you?
Objectively speaking, the trouble was entirely of my own making.
Okay.
Half an hour ago, I was at Hotel de Boer for a drinks reception. It was to celebrate the successful opening of a show, but it was draining my energy. So, I waited for the right moment, then snuck away so I could switch to standby mode.
Okay.
Probably because I'm playing the lead
Okay.
role in the show? Is that so surprising?
I mean,
I'm always
surprising
getting
is that you
invitations to do
should
solo
be there.
performances. I just usually get Linny to write back and turn them down. But then came the Fontanalia Film Festival. We took all the kids from the House of the Hearth out to see a film, and after it finished, they all started clamoring for me to try out acting for some reason. Even Lynn. Anyway,
Okay.
it just so happened that a director called Mary who had sent me an invitation right around then. I'll spare you the details, but basically, I ended up accepting it.
So this is the dramatic debut of the magician's puppet.
Yep, you nailed it. I'm playing the role of a puppet.
And you ran off.
In fact, the show's called The Lost Puppet, and it's a masked mime show. So I don't have to do any facial expressions or say any lines. Literally just a series of physical movements. The director says it's a very avant-garde art form.
Ah, nice. That does sound pretty avant-garde. But can people understand?
Art is not comprehended by the mind, but felt in the heart.
Okay.
At least that's what the director says. Anyway, if nothing else, the opening performance seemed to go down well. At the drinks reception, everyone was crowding around me, saying, "Triumphant character portrayal, faithful adaptation of the original work." But being the center of attention is draining. So the moment they left me to go harass the director instead, I was out of there.
Okay. For once you weren't able to use Jenny as a human shield.
The other thing is, some weird things happened while I was on the stage.
Okay, and that including?
Oh, sorry, Bonnie. I didn't mean to leave you out of the conversation. My bad.
I take it Bonnie's your pet cat?
No, we just met. We bumped into each other right after I slipped away.
And you have already named her.
Well, it'd be kind of difficult for us to communicate otherwise. Besides, I think she's taken a liking to the name. Haven't you, Bonnie?
Haven't you, Bonnie?
Yeah, that's right. Good kitty. We'll go find your owner soon, I promise.
Owner, not a stray cat.
Nope. She's wearing a collar, and for the most part, she's pretty well groomed. If she is a stray, she hasn't been for long.
Yep.
Her stomach's been growling a lot. I guess she must have been missing for a few days now. As much as I'd love to hang out with her for a while longer, her owner... But the reception... I should probably show my face.
This is a tough decision
Oh,
for you.
I just find it exhausting, thinking through all the different ramifications of different choices and so on. That's more Lenny's area than mine. So, unless it's something really important, I usually just leave the decision-making to him.
But for once, he's not here when you need him. But that doesn't happen often.
It's fine. He got Fremine to make me a little something for just this situation.
And
Poof!
that is
A fatometer.
Fatometer.
It looks pretty over the top, I know, but it's essentially just a box of cards. He kept the design simple, so it'd be harder to break.
Okay.
The way it works is, I pick a card at random, then look at the number on the card.
Man, I seriously forgot how much conversative these story quests and hangout events can be. I kinda remember the Bennett's hangout event that I did. This can be so much
Well,
conversational. And you
for
keep on
example,
conversating and conversating and
if the number on
conversating.
the card is 5 or higher, I help Bonnie find her owner.
Okay, if the
If it's
number
less
is
than
less than
5,
5, I
I
go to the
go back to the
reception.
reception.
Nice.
I just have to believe in the bond between me and my cards, and my fate will reveal itself to me in
Okay. Lynette has to draw a card that divides the
Huh,
metaphor.
I didn't like that. Was I using it wrong? Maybe if I just...
Okay. When it smacks the card box, all the cards fall to the ground and there is a third sound.
Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out. I'll have to let Fremine know.
I feel like maybe this wasn't a design
Let's
issue.
see... Which card did I get? 4.
Oh. Less than 5, so that means no helping Bonnie.
Well, the cards fell on the ground though, so I don't think it counts as fate. If you want to get the right answer, you have to let fate decide. Also,
Also
so
something
to put
Lenny
it
said.
another way, if picking a card up off the ground is how to not leave it to fate, then that means it must be the wrong answer.
I think what really mean is sometimes you have to accept the answer.
Or why don't you pick a card? Since I ran into you here, that means
our fates,
our fates are
interfering with each other.
like interfering with each other.
For this point, I think this two selections are going to be the different checkpoints of this hangout events. Maybe, so let's do with the easier one. Alright, I'll pick another card for
Thank you. Here, take the fatometer. If it's 5 or above, that means fate successfully changed. Anything lower than 5 is a fail. Also, if you have your own thoughts about what I should do, feel free to share it.
Now let's go.
No.
Okay. I think you should head back to the drinks reception. I think you should have Bonnie. How about you do neither? Let's go with the fatometer
Alright.
for this one.
Then let's see where fate will lead me.
Okay. The random checks triggered by the fatometer serve often as an indicator for the destiny sport or the success or failure of an action. Your current checkboxes will be added to randomly drawn number, making it easier to pass checks. Okay, I'm not sure. Let's leave this one to fate. 19!
So, we're looking for Bonnie's owner?
Yep.
There's 20 cards in total, numbered 1 to 20. So there's only a 1 in 5 chance of drawing less than a 5.
And you still
I
didn't
should
do
also
it.
mention, this time the cutoff was 5, but I just set that to wherever I feel like.
Okay, you really don't want to go back to that reception party.
To put it in perspective, I said I'd only do the show if I drew a 1. Fate can be pretty sneaky sometimes.
Yep. So how do you plan to find Bonnie's owner?
I think
Assume
I'll
that the
go to the
person you wanna
Steambird
come
and
along,
see about
then
putting
go
an
with
ad in the
someone.
paper.
Okay, let's go. Sure, if it means I get to hang out with you for a bit longer. Already flirting my boy. Nice. Where should we go?
Yeah! Skyward!
There.
Every stupendous day starts with a steambird. Oh, hi Lynette. Hi Traveler.
We wanted
What
to
can
ask
I
you about
help
the
you
latest
with?
Tales of Humanity column. Any commissions is there about a missing cat? Well, let's go for the cat.
I don't think so. Have you picked up a stray?
Yep. If there's no commission to follow up on, could we post a notice about the missing cat instead?
Sure.
Why, of course. What a kind thing to do. Just fill out the...
Yeah.
Well, we've registered you as missing.
You can stay at my place.
You
if
can
don't
stay at
wanna
my
find
place
me.
until your owner finds you. Also, I just wanted to say thanks. Well, I should probably head back to the drinks reception. If you've got some time, you should stop by my place tomorrow to see Bonnie. There's a nice cup of tea in it for you.
Looking
Alright,
forward to it.
see you then.
Bye bye. Wait till next morning 7 to 9. Who waits when we have got time travel? Done. Lynette,
Yeah! Scatter!
I believe this cat belongs to me.
I already
Why do
told
you
you,
believe that?
this isn't your cat.
Okay.
Just take a breather, you two.
What's going on?
Oh, you're here. As you can probably see, you'll have to take a rain check on that.
This is my friend's cat. He's preoccupied with some important business.
Okay. So we are having two fights between people who want the cat. Insight check success. Lead a little suspicious. The authority, it's like she's deliberately using her tone of voice to dispel any doubts about her
No,
integrity.
no. It's far more likely this cat escaped from the Humane Society.
Humane society. Seems a bit unnatural. The hesitation in his voice, it seems like he could be hiding something. His gaze keeps drifting off to the side. It's like he's trying not to draw attention to himself. How about we let Bonnie decide?
Bonnie?
That's the name I've given her in the meantime.
They don't know the name to the cat. Let's see who Bonnie decides to approach. Let's see who... The number is greater than 8. Ah, nice. Bonnie happily runs up to you.
Well, this complicates things.
It seems she quite likes me. There is no way to tell who her owner is.
I told you before. This is my friend's cat. It's normal for her not to trust me.
Listen, I'm the director of the Humane Society, okay? We've got so many strays, dogs, cats, you
Okay.
name it.
Then how is it
She
so sure
just
belongs to you?
looked somewhat familiar, so I came to check, just in case. If she turns
Okay.
out to be one of ours, I'll take her back. Simple as that. Even if that's not the case, the Humane Society could still take her in. If
Okay.
no one...
What's the Humane
we're an
Society?
organization that specializes in rescuing and sheltering stray animals. We've been in business for several decades now. I'm Bernard, the current director.
The Humane Society. Huh. The name sounds familiar. I remember hearing good things. Near the...
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, if it's not too much trouble, could I possibly take a closer look at the cat?
No.
If it turns out I really am mistaken, I suppose that means the cat belongs to this lady here.
It belongs to my friend.
With us here to be fought, it should be
Go
fine.
on, Bonnie.
Okay.
Oh, nope. Looks like I was mistaken. They do look similar, but there's... Well, I suppose this means I still have a missing...
Okay, so is this your friend's cat?
Oh, yes, exactly.
Wait a second.
Sorry guys.
You lied earlier,
I'm
didn't
currently
you?
live streaming, so can't accept. Sorry.
Lied? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
A liar always has a tell. The look in their eyes, their breathing pattern, the way they hold themselves.
What are you
So
talking
she
about?
is liar.
The way I see it, you're conflating.
Normally, when someone is called out, their breathing speeds up as they begin to panic. But your breathing pattern hasn't changed one bit. If you're a bad guy, I'm sure you'll take off running the first chance you get. If you're a good guy, the most
You're a
likely
member of the
explanation,
guards of some similar
And you're
organization.
basing this off of
intuition. Nothing more.
intuition.
I
Well,
have to hand
you're
up to
right.
you, Lynette.
I'm a member of the guards. The name's Elodie.
Elodie.
I'm currently investigating a
Investigating.
cross-border smuggling case.
Okay. The cat had
This
Bonnie
cat
was her
here-
name. Well, her owner is one
Bonnie
of the prime
was her name?
suspects of our
A
investigation.
couple of days ago,
Okay.
our suspect got wind that we were on his tail and fled.
Okay.
That's most likely how he got separated from the cat. I just so happened to stumble upon your notice in the Steambird. So, I decided to see if he'd come back for her.
If I were on the
But-
run, I don't think I'd
It looks like
come back
the
either.
impact of this
Obviously,
case
man.
has been huge. The Marechaussee Phantom, the guards, and the Special
If there
Patrol
was
have
even the
all
slightest
launched
other influence,
investigations.
I had to follow
If there
up on
was
that.
even the slightest chance that he would show himself
What's
a
being
new kind
smuggled?
of illegal drug, imitation synth.
Imitation
We
synth.
confiscated all the synth on the market, but addiction isn't something that goes away overnight. Even without substances on the market, people are still looking, and criminals are all too eager to capitalize on that addiction. That was after the original synth debacle. We put several measures into place to prevent similar incidents from occurring. We only recently got word of the presence of imitation synth overseas. We managed to track down evidence of some early transactions. The Marechaussee Phantom launched an investigation to track down every person in Fontaine capable
That's
of
how we'll
producing a
know
drug
what
like
Bonnie's
that.
on.
He's
Who
a
is the
researcher
owner?
at the Fontaine Research Institute. His name is Pierre.
Lefebvre.
Linnette's expression seemed a bit unnatural. He was like, he know that guy? Why am I talking
The Marechaussee
like,
Phantom found him in
AI?
Poisson. In addition to the cat, he also had a pendant with him.
Okay. Sort of like a medical sign. Dependent.
At first, there wasn't much cause for suspicion. A search of his house didn't reveal much. It was only later that we realized the coat of arms on his pendant belonged to none other than the Lefebvre family. Obviously, this discovery prompted a further investigation into Pierre. At that point, however,
His family
It's
be
not
hiding him?
possible, actually. The Lefebvre family
Hi, Tane!
has been gone for a long time.
So currently I'm just doing the hangout event for Lynette. I just noticed कि मैंने बहुत टाइम से करे ही नहीं है hangout events. So I was like, okay, let's start with today's the day, as I'm saving for many players to come. I am saving for Yalan, I am saving for Kazuha, I might save for Mawika, I am saving for Capitano. So much Primogems I have to save, and I think the hangout events are the way to go. I have nearly completed all of my exploration, and I still have more than 10 hangouts event present. I have only completed that of Bennett. So let's just see. Abhi though it's so much boring, the Lynette's hangout event. I mean,
exactly.
बातें ही करते
Many
रहते हैं
years ago,
भाई.
several important members
No
of the family,
combat, no nothing.
including the
Only
patriarch,
conversation and
were
conversation
murdered
and
by an
conversation.
assassin of unknown origin.
And currently
From
I'm
that
only
point
on
on,
the first
Family's
wave
power and influence took quite the
also. So
hit.
let's see what all happens. Well, after this, you might actually get an idea about the stream, about the hangout event, the other 6 ways as well.
The family is engaged in all
Let's
manner of
just carry
crimes.
on. अभी
As you
तक के
can
लिए
imagine,
तो
Pierre is one
I
of
think
those
there
very
was only
survivors.
one point where
He's been
it could
hiding
have
away in the
been
Fontaine Research Institute
multiple
all these years.
parts
His
to
true identity
carry on
unbeknownst
the
to all.
endings, but
Until now,
I will only
that
get
is.
certain idea when at least the first one is complete. So let's just
Well, my fellow guards have told me all about how smart
Yeah,
and courageous you
so
both
very
are.
boring.
And there could be a chance that Pierre or one of his accomplices
But
might attempt
Bennett
to get
was
close to
actually
Bonnie.
interesting.
Now that you've been briefed on
इतनी
the
ज़्यादा
situation,
conversation नहीं थी उसमें.
I was hoping you'd help us keep a lookout.
Okay.
If I take Bonnie back to the guards with me, there's no way Pierre will try and come for her.
Yep. So we should keep Bonnie with us.
I have to admit,
Sure.
I'm not holding out too much hope that Pierre will come back for her. But
Well,
I've got some other leads to follow
you-
up on. If Pierre does appear,
wait. Have you done the hangout event for Lynette? Tana, have you done it? The hangout event? What's wrong? You don't look so good.
It's nothing. I'm fine. It's just the head of the Lefebvre family.
Yeah, the person who kidnapped
He
me
was
all those years. So.
was at a dinner party. But before anything worse could happen, Father intervened.
Okay, so that was happened in the session I already mentioned.
Yep.
Okay, so to
Father
provide a
was the one
simple
who orchestrated the fall of the
brief intro,
Lefebvre family.
what happened till now is that
That's what led me after all
Lynette
these
has
years.
to play a role of a lead actress in
I never thought I'd hear the Lefebvre
some
name again.
sort of a place, and she completed that, and she ran up from the interview. She met a cat. We are actually now finding the owner of the cat, and for the owner, we set up a new commission, and for that commission, 2 people came. One was doubtful, and the other was a police officer looking for the owner of this cat. So the name of the owner is from this Lefebvre name again. So that's what happened till now. Okay, your quests are pending.
Don't worry about me.
Quests are
I wasn't
the
feeling
best way
sorry
to
for
gain
myself.
promotions and wishes. So
I
if you
was
plan to
just
save
thinking
for
about
upcoming
Lynette.
characters, you should start picking up on your quest now. I was just thinking about Lynette.
He's been acting strange recently. He avoids me for days on end, consumes him thinking about it now. It's almost like the one I drew from that deck of cards was part of his plan all along.
To pull out the
He must have asked Fremenade to help him out.
You think he
It's
knows
very
about
possible.
fear?
I'm sure he tried to send me away because he was afraid it would bring up some painful memories for me.
Well, then
Even
that's
after
okay.
all these years, he's still as overprotective as ever. You'll have
Okay,
to help me
let's go.
teach him a lesson if we run into him along the way.
Along the way, are we going somewhere?
Yep. I want to head to the Fontaine Research Institute to learn more information about
Don't
Pierre.
tell your rent to Lynette.
Just
You're
let me
trying to
activate
help
search
out
mode
Lynette in
and
this investigation,
then we'll head
or
out.
are you proving yourself?
Who knows?
Let's
Maybe
just not
we'll
be
run a
that
little bit
rude.
of both, perhaps.
Yeah,
For the most part, though,
I
I
am
just
also
have the
for
sense
Mavika.
that something's not right. Something
Things
isn't
are
adding up
different.
about Pierre's story.
I'm just not sure what.
I'm just not sure
I
what.
also know what secret is hiding. Sometimes you have got to take the bull by the. But I mean, some
Okay,
news
I'll
that
write
we
a letter
got.
explaining everything to the crew.
Let's just see if Mavika is actually going to be the Pyro Archon or the other way around. I mean, we already know that the name of the second quest is the Oath Resurrection. So, who are we going to resurrect? Is it going to be Murata or Rosaria is the least one? I think so, because they're saying that she might be helpful in finding the location of the Pyronosis. But if we actually want to know the location of the Pyronosis, who should be better than Mavika? So we will also have to wait and see what happens with that.
Lynette, you're...
You can drop the act, brother. In fact, I don't think either of us will have a need for acting anytime soon.
And that's why I tried to distract you with the masked mime show. But I guess you're just too good.
Care to introduce us to your new assistant?
This is Officer Shovras,
Okay.
captain of the Special Security
getting
and Surveillance
Shovras.
Patrol. You may have met her already.
Nice to
we'll
see
meet
you.
again.
I should clarify something. Mr. Linney's here at my invitation, not the other way around. We've brought on Mr. Linney as a consultant in the past. He was instrumental in helping us crack a
Yep.
case involving a perpetrator who used
No
magic
idea.
tricks to
We'll
commit
have to see
crimes.
about the Pyronosis.
I was hoping he'd be able to provide some valuable insight this time around.
So you...
That's exactly why we're here. There's
That's
always
what
been
I feel about
questions
the
surrounding the...
involved.
Whoever was behind it all was extremely cautious. They didn't
I
leave a
will
shred of
actually have
evidence.
to know what
This very
is
fact,
the
however, leads me to
time
believe
frame
it was
for
indeed
this
the work of that
Hangout event.
harbinger.
I mean, we know that we got the Hangout event of Lynette alongside the release of Arlecchino as well. So, is the Hangout event taking in place with the time frame of, let's say, Arlecchino's
I
story
took a look
quest,
at the
or
entrance and exit
earlier or
records of all the
later?
carriages that night. Let's just say, don't worry, I don't have any evidence to that effect. I sought Mr. Linney's help with the smuggling case. Nothing more. The way I look at it, it's a collaboration between us as
I'm
people,
assuming you wouldn't
not
be
the
opposed to
organization.
that,
Not at
right?
all. I was planning to invite you from the very beginning, Miss Lynette. It's just that my assistant here raised some objections.
Linny, I'm not the same person I was back then. That little girl who did nothing but cower in the corner in
You want to
fear.
protect your little sister.
She doesn't need saving anymore.
But little sister don't say little forever.
I'm sorry, Lynette.
So I think this is
You're right.
before the
I let my concerns get the better of me.
because we
Oh,
haven't
and
gotten
the next time you want to
some sort
distract
of
me,
reference to that.
you should try a different approach.
Who's this? You pick up a stray while...
It's a bit complicated.
Well, if there
Okay, let's just get on. Come on, give me
It appears the
combat.
Lafayette family was very... The family would use different
Oh,
emblems to
yeah,
mark differences
yeah.
in status, blood relation, and the like. In fact, the insignia that was
Okay,
discovered
Kaya.
on the pendant was used to represent an illegitimate child.
Let me
it's
know
highly
if
likely. That very
that event
status
is
might have
as
been what
much as
allowed him to
conservative
emerge
as
from the
this one
fall of
is.
his family relatively.
We discovered something interesting, though. After talking to some of his co-workers, it appears he pretty much works at the Institute.
Apparently, Pierre was once addicted to synth. He claimed it was just for research purposes, but the Institute revoked his access to But it seems the Institute ran into some trouble along the way. Could have been a lack of personnel or a timing issue.
करना तो पड़ेगा.
In any case, they had to table their... As for his family background, it appears none of his co-workers at the Institute were aware of that information.
Maybe we will have to
All they
take
could tell
our
us was that he was
elsewhere
quite
then.
the
Did
recluse.
you find anything useful at his residence? कहीं और चलते
Other
हैं
than the
यार.
pendant, based on the samples, those traces might not be obvious to the casual observer. But they're not something... We didn't find any records indicating possible involvement in overseas transactions either.
Okay.
So, the Marechaussee...
Maybe he had a separate
Well, his neighbors did say he was often gone for long stretches of time. You would think if his reclusive nature was just a matter of keeping a low profile, I guess it would make sense for him.
After he disappeared, the guards conducted a thorough search of Poisson, but they didn't come across any suspicious locations.
Well, generally, अभी
Poisson.
तक I haven't decided for any time for stream, but most probably I think I will start somewhere around 5 to 7. That time seems feasible.
You know, I
5
told
to 7 in
Deborah where I
evening.
first found Bonnie?
At,
To get there from Poisson,
that time,
you have to
most
cross
of
a
the time
stretch of
frames are
ocean.
active, even
It's
for
not somewhere a
IST
cat could just
or
wander off
even
on
for
its own.
US. So evening IST 5 to 7 seems like the time I might be carrying on the live
Cat?
streams.
You mean...
Bonnie.
Bonnie is...
Oh, that's right! When the Marechaussee Phantom first tracked him down, I remember there being something about a cat in their report.
From what we've learned about Pierre's habits, he doesn't seem like the type to venture out without a purpose. So what you're saying, Lynette, is that Bonnie couldn't have gone missing in Poisson. If that's true, then...
Exactly. Bonnie might even know where it is.
No
Wait.
issue.
You think the
Time-
cat can lead us there?
Can be any time. I will have to try different time frames because this is actually my second live stream that I am doing. Before this I haven't done a live stream, so I will just look. I will try different time frames to see which seems most feasible for many people. So let's just hope. Okay, I will have to find more than 12. No, God. Started. Bonnie rushes to hide behind
Ah,
me.
guess she's a little skittish around stranger.
I
Yeah.
leave to you then.
Near the cook.
Well, I've certainly never taken a witness statement like this before.
Well, if it works out...
Cats and humans are actually pretty... Of course, body language has its limitations. You're not...
The important thing is that we now have a lead.
किस चीज़ के लिए
Let's
tuition
try and
जाते
find a
हो वैसे?
place that matches the
I
clues
mean-
Bonnie gave us.
School activities और कुछ over the top करने की plan कर रहे हो? Go check the system.
Seems like Bonnie is trying to take us somewhere.
Follow Bonnie.
Gardemex ahead.
Look out!
Time to shine! A proper send-off! From the lights out.
Seize the sky!
Finally some combat.
Skyward! Scatter!
Hit. Ah! Ah! Watch out! Ah! Watch out! Hit. Where'd that come from?
Bonnie coming? There's Bonnie. And Nada.
Wow, Lynette, you found this place so easily. If I thought there was any chance you'd say yes, I'd recruit you into the special patrol here and...
Sounds familiar. I pretty much receive letters daily.
Let's just focus on our search.
Now, so much conversations again.
Aha!
This is where the imitation synth was being made. These bottle and jars, they are all imitation synth.
Looks like he's got more than just imitation synths stashed around here. In addition to the raw materials needed to synthesize the substance itself, there's a large quantity of cleaning agents and a few drugs I haven't been able to identify. These cleaning agents are likely used to dispel traces of the substance, like if the Special Patrol did some digging into imitation synth. Our records, it must have taken a considerable amount of time, but what are these other drugs for?
The material these bags are made of, it's quite rare.
So,
It's the very same, actually.
if I have
A maritime flower fiber.
talk to them myself
But
this way,
there's something special
I'll
about
be
the
like,
composition of these bags.
let's just leave
I
this
took a
cat.
closer look. Even the
But
strings look specially
all these
designed to keep the
Primogens.
bags closed nice and
60
tight.
Primogens.
I came across some bags made of the same material just now, but they were very similar actually. Normally it would be easy for a guard poodle to sniff out the imitations, but what could these big bags be for then? If the goal is to keep the imitation...
Let's check it. Where's the turbo? Oh,
When the Marechaussee Phantom searched Pierre's house,
move them, but
there was no sign of these
barrels.
barrels.
Too much tension. That doesn't
You're
seem like
right.
his way of doing things.
That
How did
doesn't
he
seem
get
like his
them
way of
like
doing
to
things.
Examine the barrels. For some reason, they're repeatedly half of the barrels. Oh, Eula's story quest. If I remember, it was something about revenge story, right? She wanted
Only the
to
lower halves of the barrels appear to
have
have been
the
submerged in water.
respect of her family name or something to be gotten back. I don't exactly remember. I did it months ago.
Based on the various ingredients
It
we
was about
found,
her
this
family's
appears to be where
reputation,
Pierre
maybe,
was
right?
cooking up his imitation synth. It looks like he used a special cleaning agent to get rid of any residual traces of the substance on his person before he left.
So then he transferred...
No. I don't believe our suspect is the kind... The cleaning agent and the sealed bags might get past the guard poodles.
No, no.
The barrels we found...
Okay.
If you put a barrel in the water, it will normally float on its side.
So he must have used something
Unless
to
it's
tightly
heavily
seal
loaded.
bags full of air, turning them into airtight flotation.
Yes. With flotation rings around the body of the barrels, they'd stay upright in the water. And then he could afford to load them more fully.
You think he used floating barrels?
When
I suppose if he
But then wouldn't the barrels be carried off by the waves or the currents? How would the person doing the
Parents
pickup
get
know where to
slowly and
look?
get toasted trees. Sounds difficult to keep in one place, kind of like certain pets. Cat.
Traveler, can you come take a dip in the sea with
What?
me? I have a feeling that somewhere down there.
Okay. Let's just swim. That's the only thing left to do. We will talk, and then we will swim.
This isn't the place. The wreckage of a small boat? This isn't the place.
Anything else? No.
Got it. Time to go up and report.
No issue. Have fun. Bye. Okay.
As expected, we found a few pieces of rope and some anchoring.
Look like this. Okay.
With this anchoring
They used
system,
anchor
it would be possible to use floating barrels for the drop-off. We also came across the wreckage of a small boat. It must have...
Let's talk this through. Based on the evidence we've collected, it seems like Pierre would row
Why
a
is
small
such a
boat out to the
complicated
agreed
operated
upon
boat?
transfer
Wouldn't
point,
it be easier for
drop
both
off the
parties to make
barrels,
a transfer
leave,
location on their
and then row
respective
back and
boats
retrieve them
right
after the
It could be that he was trying to avoid meeting up with his associate face to face.
there? You too, bro.
As one of the sole survivors of the Lefebvre family, maybe he was just used to that sort of elusive lifestyle.
It seems like Pierre deliberately chose the floating barrel method so that the goods could be dropped off and picked up at separate times. That way, the two parties wouldn't have to meet each other.
Yep.
Well, if that's the case, they must not have a very close working relation.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. Assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. The most important thing is that we can now confirm
Fair,
Pierre
checking
wasn't
along the
acting
potential.
alone. Let's say for now that he was only in charge of
That
producing the
explains why
imitation
we couldn't
synth.
find evidence linking
That would
him to
mean
any
there
of
has
these
to be at
operations.
least one other person involved in the operation.
Since we've determined that the goods were transported by boat, maybe we can...
We can certainly check the various ports for that
Have you looked at the
information.
ports
Absolutely. Before Pierre disappeared, we made sure to investigate all sorts of outward bound vessels. We also had port authority. Unfortunately, we were never able to find out how they managed to get the imitation
Very
synth
important
across
of
the
you, but
border.
it's going to
You're
actually
right.
very far.
Whatever vessel was used for the pickup, the person responsible for smuggling the substance out of Fontaine would have had to use a larger vessel for the actual transport. They must have found a way to disguise the imitation synth to clear port
Well, even if we
inspections.
can't find any travel logs, we can still search for it.
Exactly. We can't let...
I'll run home and ask some of my brothers and sisters to try and dig up some information.
Okay.
I should also head back and update my platoon on our progress. I'll grab some reinforcements while I'm at it. Lynette,
Going to head
Traveler,
to Tumblr
why
and
don't
see
you...
what
All
we can
right.
find out.
Come on, Bon.
Yay, Bonnie. Visitors Harbor. Irish Canyon. Is that fourth number?
Skyward! Scatter! Oh, Lynette, Traveler.
What brings you all here?
Did something happen?
We are here to check the travel dogs. Come on, give us the travel dogs.
Oh, I see.
Like me? Ah.
Thank you for everything you're doing for the people. I'm in charge of
yeah.
guarding the port.
You mentioned you were after some
You
travel dogs, right?
mentioned
I can
you were
go
after
fetch
some-
those for you.
Looks like I've got another hard day of work ahead of me.
I think usually it's pretty hectic
No,
around here.
not usually. It's this incident that happened recently. Before that, everything was normal. All we had to do was confiscate but things are much more complicated now. We somehow let suspicious...
By suspicious cargo, do you mean...
Yep. However, prohibited substances are just one example.
So what happens to the goods you confiscate?
Oh, we keep them in a storage locker. If they turn out to be something particularly... If the goods are only slightly suspicious but could otherwise be harmless, like raw materials that could potentially be used to create contraband...
Sorry for the wait. These are the travel log...
Oh, you brought Gerard?
Actually, he followed me here himself. Huh. I wonder why Gerard is reacting to you two so strongly.
We just left the place where the imitation synth was made. Whatever Gerard smelled on you probably came for us.
Huh? We were so careful not to touch it, but we still ended up with traces on us.
Why don't you have a look at the travel logs first? I'll ship...
Yep.
The Humane Society.
Before, we have encountered this organization before, right?
Their name is all over the exit logs. The purpose for leaving...
the director of the organization explained that, actually. He said a lot of the cat and dog breeds unique to Fontaine are also...
Bernard, the director of the Humane Society, was the man who came looking for Bonnie.
Yep. The cat that fled from Pierre looked like the cat that the Humane Society is looking for. Could that really be a coincidence? It seems that Bernard was also hiding something. He seemed so insistent, but also ran a cursory check before leaving like that. He came looking for Bonnie earlier, but if he wasn't actually there to check if Bonnie was missing cat, maybe he was there for some other purpose.
Have you figured it out too, Traveler? The way the criminal disguised the goods? When Bernard asked to take a closer look at Bonnie, he was actually checking whether there was any imitation synth in her stomach.
He was using the animals at his shelter to smuggle imitation synth.
Wait, what?
The sealed bags we found at the secret base. They were specially made to be corrosion resistant.
So they wouldn't be digested.
And there were gaps around the lids of the barrels, and airbags were used to keep them upright in the water. Those drug shovers found at the secret base. She most likely didn't recognize them because they're not used on human beings.
So that they would...
It's an anesthetic used pure. Must have made the animals swallow the sealed bags full.
The sealed bags combined with an animal's body odor would certainly be enough to mask...
During our inspections, we would have never thought to inspect the
Exactly. I bet Bernard even transported animals with synth in their stomach alongside ones without. She's probably in the clear. Otherwise, Bernard would have never left without her. Just imagine. He sees the notice we put in the Steambird, and it turns out that if Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth, then Bonnie would practically be living proof of...
So, that's why he came to find you and insisted on taking a closer look at the cat.
The fact is probably what spared.
Wait a second, I'm a little lost here. I get the part about hiding the substance in the pet. If you've got something as convenient as a floating barrel, why not just stuff it with the imitation?
In order to make sure the animals could swallow the sealed bags, they made them extremely thin. Had they not done that, the animals would have likely bitten or chewed through them.
Synth leaked out. They would also have needed a lot of cleaning agents to get rid of the result.
That step would have required a lot of energy, as well as a certain amount of technical expertise. So, it was better. We've already proven how easy it is to pick up trace amounts of imitation.
Okay. Then, let's head to the Humane Society right away and bring that guy to justice.
Go to the Humane Society. Right.
Skyward! Scatter! The headquarters of the Humane Society should be somewhere around here.
Ah, here are the people from earlier.
After him! We can't let him get away!
Okay.
Give it up, Bernard.
Mercy, have mercy. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything I know.
The Humane Society has done so much good over the years, and yet you have...
Look, I didn't have a choice, okay? My father cared about those blasted animals so much, he didn't bother...
No one asked. Tell me.
Well, after I took over the Humane Society, it said that I could stand to get a large sum of money as long as I helped them to transport some animals abroad. But then, Pierre wrote to me, saying that we were already part...
Bernard's expression seems a little bit unnatural. There was a hint of dishonesty in his trembling voice.
You knew it from the very beginning, didn't you?
The reason why you had to
go through so many...
I'd suggest that you confess...
Yes, officer! I would order wooden barrels and flotation devices according to his instructions, and then load this. And a few days after that, I'd come by again in my boat, and that guy Pierre, he was running the entire show. Look, I don't know, okay? I've never ever met...
And when did he send his final letter to you?
Just last night. He said that the Marechaussee Phantom is now after him, so he's planning to go into hiding for some time. He didn't...
It's been a few days since Pierre's last appearance. I'd wager that he sent that letter after he found his hiding spot.
I burned them. It was on his orders. I had to burn every letter.
Sure sounds like you're trying to use the lack of witnesses or evidence to pin the blame on Pierre.
No, I swear, this time I'm only telling you the truth.
Well, we can check the truth of your statements at the Opera House. I hope you know what'll be coming.
I know, I swear.
Bonnie helped, too.
Okay, Bernard, so what about Pierre and Pyre?
And it looks like she's grown quite fond of you two as well.
Bernard. Attempt to close the case. Something on your mind still?
It was that obvious, huh?
Even though it didn't feel like Bernard was lying.
Even though it didn't feel like Bernard was lying. We investigated so quickly that perhaps we've missed a thing or two along the way. Is there still anything unresolved or strange that we should try to consider?
About what we find in Poisson, about Bernard's letter. There's an unexplained part in the operations of this traffic ring.
Well, we've discovered that Bernard is responsible for the traffic.
Not this man. Ledger, ingredients, connections. Let's start. Connections. The one person who was helping them with the goods.
There's no need to rush.
Okay. What about we find in
the Marechaussee Phantom found Bonnie and the Lefebvre pendant at Pierre's.
The Lefebvre family is in favor of the fountain, and even their innocent crimes became targets of revenge. But Pierre just carried the pendant with him as if it was ordinary piece of jewelry. Maybe trying to make them prove that owner is an illegitimate child of the Lefebvre family, but that shouldn't be all. Or taken directly to Pierre. This should be the one associate. Initial suspicion. Pierre became the key suspect in the case because of a suspicious cat and a suspicious pendant. Pierre became the key for the Bonnie man. Bonnie has been with Pierre ever since the first meeting between Pierre and the Marechaussee Phantom. That's why Elodie came looking for her, but that shouldn't be all. According to Bernard, the trafficked animals were taken directly to Pierre's base rather than to Poisson. Maybe the pet handoff? I don't think this can be used to answer.
There's no need to rush.
The last point
Bernard
about Bernard's
claims to have
letter.
received a letter last night from Pierre. In the letter, Pierre
What's suspicious about the letter Bernard received? The lost cat, Bonnie? Bonnie had already been on the loose for the few days when we found her yesterday morning. This means that she has already broken free when the letter was written. The letter's purpose. The point of the letter was to tell Bernard to get on his ground. Then why didn't it also warn him about Bonnie? That is, regardless of whether he sent it to anonymously or secretly delivered it himself, it's no longer something that we can follow up on. Escape location. The letter didn't mean Pierre's holding spot, although it makes sense that Pierre wouldn't want anyone to find him.
If Bonnie had imitation synth in her body, then she was a liability that had to be recovered at all costs. But in thinking about it, Bernard only attracted our attention in the first place because he came to look for Bonnie. Could it be that the person who wrote the letter also knew nothing about Bonnie's whereabouts? Or they had a...
That's why it go like that.
Now behave and follow.
Ow! That hurt. Ow!
The current check bonuses will be added to the randomly drawn number, making it easy to pass checks. Still failed. We used Bernard's interrogation to the cards. Left first to rescue the animals at the Humane Society.
Is everything... I still feel like... The relationship also... I've had this... No good. I've still got nothing, and I'm nearly out of energy. Alright, I'll stop thinking about it, for now. At the very... Let's go to the Humane Society, before my energy for today...
Finally, at least one is complete. The truth remains submerged in the dark undercurrents, yet hope already lies on the page. An invitation. Okay, chance meeting, a decision. I have done one. Okay, there are only 5 endings in Lynette. Yes. Zoom out. So at this point, for this season, we get 3 things. The Forgotten Cat. So we'll see what happens here. We decided to help Bonnie find her master. Okay. So let's start from this season. Right? We don't have... Oh, we also have 2 choices. After reviewing the guest community, you seem to have some new insights. I'll do this later. Now let's start with the decision.
Yeah! Skyward!
Man, it took such a long time.
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
Hit! Huh. I didn't like that.
Maybe if I just...
Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out. I'll have to let Fremine know.
I feel like
Let's
maybe this
see...
wasn't really shiny.
4.
Less than 5, so that means no helping
Well,
Bonnie.
if you want to get the right... So, to put it another way, if
I
picking a
think
card
Lynette
up off the ground...
You should
or...
leave the dazzling to Lynette.
Thank you. This one is... Here, take the Fateometer. If it's 5 or above, that means fate successfully changed. Also, if you have your own thoughts about what I should do, feel...
I think we should head back to Tim's reception. How about Neither.
Huh?
If it was urgent, someone would have kept looking by. This applies both to your true and to Bonnie's owner.
What you're saying is, since nobody's come, is that really okay?
Well, Bonnie sure seems to like the idea. What's this? Ah, I lost.
Maybe. Besides, if someone does come looking for me or Bonnie and finds me...
Yep.
Alright. Then...
Please be more than 5. Ah. Let's just give this cat
So,
to
we're
Lynette.
looking for Bonnie's owner? There's 20 cards in total. I should also mention, this time to put in perspective...
How do you plan to find Bonnie's owner? Ah no, man, I didn't want to go.
Yeah! Skyward!
Let me see again. What were the choices? Ah, I came here again. Let's start from a decision again.
Yeah! Scatter!
Huh. I didn't like that. Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron. Let's see. 4. Well, if you want to get the right... So, to put it another way...
I think we meant it.
Thank you. Here, take the face. Also...
I think you should have been to the drift reception.
Back to the drinks reception. Nope, I said it was your decision. I'm not. Besides, the drinks reception is technically part of the... I might get sued for breach. Oh, one other thing. Do you want to come with me? If you're free, I mean.
Hopefully that will make it more bearable.
Thanks.
There you are, Lynette!
What?
Where did you disappear to? Leone and I have been looking everywhere for you.
Twin mates.
Wait, where did you get the cat?
Nice to be the traveler sometimes.
I found her outside. Do either of you...
I don't think so.
Fair enough.
So sorry we couldn't...
Don't.
Maybe you could...
Sure.
It's no trouble.
Also...
Leone! One last thing, Lynette.
Spectacular.
Yes, such a... Speaking of the cat...
That's... On that point, you stated a few months...
We had a discussion about this, and quite simply...
Exactly. I was honored to share the...
Oh, Lynette's back!
Hey, Lynette! Where have you...
Were you in standby?
Those seemingly stilted movements were in fact an inspired portrayal of...
A cat!
This show looks on track to...
I
see.
Get over
But don't you want the...
That's...
I'm sure the fans...
How interesting.
Observe Lynette to see how she's throwing. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Lynette's voice was so that particular. She sounded like an auto reply bot. Hold on a minute.
Oh, really?
Huh? Wait.
Wow! Are you a fan of Lynette too?
You and Lynette struggle to keep everyone else with questions. At times, the crowd is. Are you
Yeah,
alright?
it's just...
But
at a tea party, I'm not normally subjected to a constant.
Lynette, Director Mariu would like you to join the group photo to commemorate.
A group?
It's just the members of the troupe, along.
Alright then.
3, 2, 1, smile.
My thing, you can collect your... Mariu! Get over here!
I thought the group photo was the final hurdle.
Yeah! Scatter! Skyward!
Hey, Farina.
Hotel de Bour's Ile Flottante is as wonderfully sweet as ever.
I love Farina's voice actor. I mean, of all the voice actors in Genshin, Farina's English voice actor is my favorite. I mean, the diversity she provides, the emotion that you could feel in the simple words of her voice is just amazing.
Traveler? Lynette? Oh, wait, hold on. Naturally, people wanted to hear my comments.
What do you think?
Remarkable. And a very worthwhile your performance.
Perception check success. You seem to hear a sound. If you look, you can see a sound from the background.
Is something wrong?
No, it's not.
Oh, basically, I think I'd give it a positive review overall. Just not as gushing.
So, you thought they were pretty over the top too?
Yep.
In fairness, it's normal to bring along some... Then again, I'm no specialist in avant-garde. Or maybe it's because I came to the show with some...
What original draft?
Oh? He didn't show it to you? It must have been a few months ago. I had a lot on my... I don't know. The protagonist just seemed more complex, I guess. Especially in the last two scenes. Still,
emotional depth?
Oh, I'm just thinking aloud here. Don't take it to heart. Besides, a script and a play are two... Especially with a...
No thanks.
Hey! First, take a seat, mon ami.
That was very...
Okay, we didn't have to convey that so much. Education is the word I used. They didn't mention acting once in the whole conversation.
I expect most of the people downstairs have left by now.
Time to grab a copy of the group photo and get home.
Yeah!
The photo must be in this envelope right here.
Ah, it's finally over. Thank you for sticking around for so long.
If it wasn't for you, I don't know how I would have stayed.
I know people find events like this stressful, but enough to warrant Lynette leaving halfway through. When you left the event midway, what was the reason? I mean, if you really don't want to talk about it.
It's fine. It's just while I was on stage, there was a moment when I felt like someone was looking at me.
But somehow I know
It was... I got a vague sense of it again during the reception.
Evil stare. You recall something Lynette suggested. Few people would manage to hide the feeling from Lynette's close range. Whoever it was, there must be a good actor.
Normally, I'm used to lurking in the shadows on the stage and spying on other people. So...
Maybe someone's
it was strange, or someone just took a disliking to me for no real reason.
Okay, well, if you're not worried,
okay, problem solved.
Take this envelope and go home. Ta-da! What happened?
You have destroyed this work of art. Step down from the leading role at once.
Letter this, right? This is far more serious than a momentary stink eye. We need to get to the bottom of it. Examine the letter to see if there is anything amiss. Think back to what was happening on the first floor while we were taking some time out. Let's just start with the letter. The unsealed envelope contained the group photo, the threat letter, and some photographs of Lynette from during the show. This was definitely meant for her. The letter demands that Lynette step down from the leading role, but stop short of saying what will happen if she doesn't. Neither of us recognize the handwriting. It's messy, perhaps to cover their tracks, or maybe this person just has messy handwriting. Think back to what was happening on the first floor while we were taking some time out. There were a lot of people downstairs at the time. Any of them could have slipped the letter into the envelope. All the envelopes were left on the table on the first floor, but nobody was tasked with watching them. I could ask reception, but it's unlikely they saw anything.
I don't think we're gonna find any more clues here.
Shall we ask Merrick's what he makes of you have destroyed the wall?
Yes, let's.
Art?
Whatever destroyed means,
It could have
it
something
could
to
have
do with
something to do
the
with the
original
original
script
script that Farina mentioned.
Yep.
I can't believe how well the whole Lynette's debut acting role thing worked out. Even the avant-garde How could I ever have doubted you if you hadn't... See, I told you. All the times she'd refused in the past. Can you imagine if you'd gone with Jillian? True. Well...
Do you have a moment, Director Mario?
If it isn't the star of the show. I'm guessing you're here to discuss the show with the director?
Despite it, looking at this, not quite so delighted with.
I'll leave you artists to discuss your work in peace. I certainly will. Lynette carries the fortunes of our entire troupe on her shoulders.
Mr. Maloney, an investor.
So, what can I do for the two of you?
We heard that the original script for The Lost Puppet was quite different from...
Oh, well, it's not uncommon for scripts to undergo major changes as they're being brought. A mechanical puppet with a bumbling body but a sensitive soul. There's no doubt about it. You are the protagonist, and the protagonist is you.
Sorry, you've...
All right, then. You shouldn't give your attention to early. The current script is the final version because it is the best version. And your performance best brings that script to life. Why, if it weren't for you, what letter?
You heartless puppet, you have ruined this work, and I was a role of lead actress immediately. Maybe it might have something to do with the girl you were talking about, Gillian, right? The investor might
destroyed this work of art.
Well, Director Mario?
No. Who on earth would write such nonsense?
Could it be someone involved in the production?
Absolutely not. Without Lynette, this show would...
Yeah, maybe Jillian could fill in for...
What? No way. Out of the question. The protagonist has to be...
Become a bit strange. For darting around, he's lowering it.
I've got it. It's a competitor. Yeah, you can't lie low. That's just what they want.
A competitor?
Definitely. Those lowlifes, slander and libel are all their specialty. There's so many of them out there. Fame always seems to attract haters. No matter what you do to try, stay strong, Lynette, and keep up the good...
So, a competitor, huh? I kinda doubt it. We've dealt with those types before, but at the moment, I don't think... Besides, when I felt that, I'm actually more concerned about Mario. When I mentioned Jillian, especially since Maloney mentioned that it sounds like there was an original protagonist as well as an original script. Yep, she told...
Skyward! Scatter!
Lynette? What are you doing?
I've been to the Flow of Sandra plenty of times before.
Things are different around here. You might be used to a crowd of bootlicking morons.
Bootlicking morons? I don't know.
Gina, stop that! Go home now!
Jillian!
No buts. How many times do I have to... If you don't leave right now, I swear I'll...
Jillian! I... Just because Lady Farina speaks...
After a few much words from
I'm so
Gina,
sorry.
she ran off.
Gina's always been a strong-willed child.
It's okay. I have younger siblings too, so I get it. If you let angsty kids get you riled up, they'll drain all your energy.
Well, the situation's a little different in this case, but still, thank you.
We heard about it from Maloney.
Maloney, huh? Of course he couldn't keep his mouth. I'm sorry. I never mentioned it because Director Mariu was very clear that I mustn't let any of it affect you.
Lynette,
What's this? I don't know.
Don't be scared, Jillian. Just tell us what you know.
Okay, I'll try. It's true. I was originally cast as the lead in The Lost Puppet. I've worked with Director Mariu many times before, but only in minor roles. A few months ago, Mariu started working on a new show. So he was hesitant, but he agreed to let me try for the part. We did a few rehearsals, everything seemed to be going okay, but then...
Alexa, turn on AC.
There's been a change of plan.
Lynette? But...
And that's why we cannot afford to waste this opportunity. Jillian, I understand how you must be. Next time,
I was incredibly disappointed at first. But without Lynette, how could we ever convince people to pay? And if the show was a flop with me in the leading role, how then? I got to meet you on stage and found that you're really down to earth. And whatever disappointment I had left at that point,
By wasn't bad, you mean it wasn't great either. So, I'm guessing Mariu changed the script to simplify the...
He did make some changes to the script, yes. Jaik, one of the other actors. He likes to collect Dr. Mariu's old drafts because he hopes to be a director himself one day.
Makes sense. I always see him talking to Mariu. Alright, see you at the tavern then.
Skyward! Scatter!
Finally on the right path, Jenkins.
Sorry to keep you...
Jillian brought me up to speed on the situation. I'm here to help however I can. That's always... There should be...
No problem.
Activate search mode and investigate the documents. That's it. Investigate box. 7 plus 5, 16. Check success. Okay, next. Let's check it original script. Carefully, I have 5 for the bonus. Be more than 7. 17. No need. And investigate official script. Plus 5 for this. Next, for the protagonist, due to the ability to dance due to wear and tear in the writing that much in some cursory movements, the audience will focus on the fancy set and extras. Old drafts. The chief resume was older works. Some photographs of the live performance are attached. 15. Okay, I will have to do it. Good number here. That's not enough. I don't see anything else. Not working. Well. The reason it's so hard to read is that it people don't time. I definitely each time was read it and at least 3 times. The fact that it was affected with the settings.
The protagonist returns to the ruins where she began and performs a dance in honor of her deceased companions. Yep, that's not something a novice could hope to.
The basic plot is the same, she loses the ability to turn, but there's much more emotion behind the scene. The memory of her former companions coming to peace with her life.
Frankly, I think that the original script. Jillian, shall I go tell Mariu to put you back?
What? Are you serious? But the next show is at the Opera Epic.
But not such a rare one for me, though, right?
That's different. This is...
But if you play...
It'll never work. The set for changing actor, plus Maloney's... If Lynette quit the show and I took her place...
It would destroy the reputation of Maloney's friends. None of their future articles would have any credibility.
If Lynette left, they'd sooner stop...
Stop the whole show? But all the people in the troupe, months and months of everyone's hard work would all be for nothing.
Him to replace the lead actress. Is there any other way? The newspaper clipping in the note. +3, +3, +3. So I'm already at 12. I just need to get more than 3. Oh man, I got a 20. Judging from the documents, Merrick's true intention seems to be...
You do?
All we need to do is this. You explain your idea to the group.
That's a bold plan.
You know, it's a little crazy, but it might actually work.
No way. It's not worth taking such a...
Jillian, you said before, whatever in other words, that disappointment is still there. Be honest. You still hope... You think they'd be put out?
Jillian, you were more dedicated than any... And I think you know that, so take it from me. You would not be putting us out.
Whether the plan
not one bit.
Is up to you.
You guys... Okay.
Yes!
Wait, but what about the...
As long as we stick to the plan, I'll give up the lead.
But surely you want to know who it...
I doubt they will. Who knows? Maybe it was just a fan of yours having a moment.
A fan?
Maybe there's someone out there who really appreciates your talent.
Could this letter
Even
be
in
from
the
one of Jillian's fans? The girl we found earlier? Well, that's success. But when she could have heard that? Oh, she was listening on the conversation.
It's getting late. Come on.
It grabs your... She knows. Such an idiot.
Sorry for manhandling you. You looked like you were seconds away from figuring out who's... Nothing gets past you.
Just because Lady for...
I'm so sorry. Gina's always been a...
Polina hasn't realized her official reveal was protected, which means Gina disobeyed his sister and secretly came.
I guess she must have snuck into the drinks reception. She idolizes Jillian, both as an older sister and an actress. And she watched as to make matters worse. All the critics were hailing this amateur as a perfect fit for the role. And even Fontaine's form... Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Like I said, getting angry if it was my younger brother or sister and they found out I'd been treated unfairly or I was in Jillian's position once. Back when Linny and I were starting out, so I can understand Gina's frustration.
It must have been the one.
Still, no, the way she looks at me is indignant, frustrated, but not malicious.
Okay.
Whoever was giving me that evil stare, we'll find out who it is before too long. On that note...
With everyone. 2 days. 4 to 6. Up. And with this, I time travel. I mean, I was expecting to go into a similar storyline with the cat and all, but we got into a totally different storyline. We are not looking for a way for Lynette to not be the lead actress and find who had evil intentions. Oh.
Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward!
Oh, you're here. Lynette and Jillian are busy.
Suddenly the curtain opens and the show begins. Act 1 in the ruins.
That puppet in the middle, is that Lynette? She's so pretty.
It's starting. Keep your voice.
The protagonist, a dancer, has been abandoned from years. She's a her condition.
Wow. I thought it would be hard to follow, but
Even though her face was expressionless and she didn't speak the whole time, I felt like
Act 2, the journey. Some mechanical puppets believe in a myth. At the end of the world, there is a god of puppets who can turn puppets into human beings.
Director Mariu really is a master of his craft.
I have a friend who saw the show on the opening day. They thought the critics overstated how good it was, but
is incredible.
I
It
can't
looks like
believe
this
it's only
change
been a
is
few
incredible.
days since the last show. Lynette's improved so much.
your penchant for the hyperbolic strikes again, Almery.
Well, you know.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? The first.
My apologies, Mr. Maloney.
I need to talk with the
very
actor.
well.
Obviously, he changed the script, but he hit the original script with the original actress.
Are you guys sure this is gonna work? We're already halfway there. We can't back out.
What is this plan that you're so intent on?
Director Mariu!
Korantan and Armory have both finished. Was that really Lynette playing the lead role?
Well done, director. You
Ta-da!
thought of it. Max has Lynette's wife behind him. Behind her is the protagonist, but without the
Director
control
Mariu?
of the mask.
I switched costumes and masks with Jillian so that I could be the protagonist's companion. And stay up.
Lynette, why on?
You know my acting is amateur. The only reason
Because
I'm being seen as a pro,
credits recording
let
the
alone a
show.
pioneer,
So right now, there's
is
a whole
because you
audience
have
out there,
critics
and
supporting the
no
show.
hope of paying them all off.
If they'd seen me in the leading role during the first half, they wouldn't be expecting anything more. But if you force me to play the lead in the second half, they'll be wondering, why is the actress suddenly giving
did
such
it
an
plan?
underwhelming performance
Or
right at
is
the
this
climax of the whole
director
story?
that all crowds have to be because she's not a good enough actress to play the role?
These are just some of the questions that will be on everyone's minds during the second half. There's only one way for you to save your reputation.
Absolutely not. I'd sooner announce that we're having a... If I keep Jillian as the lead for the second half, what do you think will happen? What will your fans think? There'd be tickets to refund. You can't just take...
Director Mariu, please.
Actually, Jillian, he's half right. But my responsibility here is making
And I guess part of that responsibility lies with me, considering
like
I
a finally
badgered you into
decided
accepting.
to show
Sorry, I'm a little.
Lenny? What do you...
That might be a little tricky.
I can make something magically appear.
What's this?
a draft complaint letter, my contract, your legal fees, reimbursement for the tick, Mr. Mariu. I'm stepping down from the leading.
If you do suffer unforeseen financial losses from this,
What I can't... Of course. All this Mora, it's a pittance to you. Look at us. We're huge. You don't give a hoot how much...
That's not true. I do care.
Oh, brilliant deduction.
Really? Then why do your eyes tell a different story?
The way you look at me, it's full of
Almost as
contempt.
if I've destroyed your work of art.
What?
A couple days ago, I asked some associates to do some digging. Surprise, surprise. Turns out that all the other famous actresses...
And I would have turned you down too, if not for...
You didn't send those invitations because you were looking for a better actress than Jillian, but...
To marry you.
To get Maloney on your side, you chose to make Jillian the understudy, and then look for an opportunity for her to take the lead.
I bet you were torn.
Or do you choose Jillian, so that you and your longtime...
Unfortunately, you betrayed yourself by choosing her.
You mentioned prior success, and or maybe...
Right now, your work would...
Did you say perfect?
Or
Director marry you?
We what? But yes, but then what happened? Surely you must have Maloney's friend.
Look.
Well,
next time, huh?
Unfortunately...
I won't turn my back on my dreams any longer, Director.
Okay, let's just get
Me neither.
with it. 5, 8, 13, 18, 21, 24. I just need at least one. And I've gotten a 19.
Hi.
Act 3, amidst the rubble.
Huh. The plot here seems a little different.
The protagonist wanted to return to the stage, so the puppets replaced all her parts with the...
And in the end, she forgot herself amidst the applause and...
Hey, no spoilers! Huh? Wait.
Oh, Archons.
No need to be so nervous, Director Mariu. We only told... But, in truth, I believe that if we choose our words carefully, there's no reason we can't get Maloney to come around and keep the show going.
You really thought this plan through. What's worrying me now isn't how Maloney will react or whether it's the audience. What if people only came to see the show for Lynette? It feels like I've been hiding in...
We're right here with...
Watch it to the end. Original script.
Wow. Okay, this ending is much better.
I love how they brought back the set from Act 1 and gave it a whole new...
Time for the curtain call. It's like you always leave my mask on. And you never know.
Very nice episode. Oh, hey, they have accepted our as well.
This is what fame looks like. When it's truly...
Jillian, you... well...
Really?
What looked like an actor unsteady on her feet?
Hey, Mario! What the heck was that?
Our articles are our...
Hey now, it was...
Hold on. The decision was mine, and mine alone.
Marry you? So it was you? Well then.
Director Mariu, Mr. Maloney, what on earth is going on? Why was Lynette not in the lead role? It took a lot of convincing from me for her to accept the role, and I had to turn down some big work.
Lenny, it was all his idea.
Wait, Lenny, as a matter of fact, in this play, the masks and costumes serve to obscure the differences between characters. We took that idea to the next level with an actor swap, blurring the line. It's similar to deceiving the audience in a magic show. We allow the audience to more intuitive...
Hold up.
Oh, I see. Well,
that's probably more because you just don't really understand avant-garde art very well, Lenny.
Maybe so, maybe so.
You must have worked it out by the end of the first half, surely.
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
You mean your show was partly
Unfortunately,
cancel the show?
While I accept that...
a very valid criticism, and one that I humbly accept. If that happens. Plus, it looks like Jillian is better than me at delivering the excellence people want to see.
Maloney, I believe that...
Oh, one other thing. Anyway, and I'm sure today's audience will be discussing her performance too. Oh, of course.
Just 1 minute. Talk to director Mary.
Yeah. Thing I always told.
Just finish this.
Just like those critics with their dishonest reviews. You're right. Anyway, I've been looking.
Ah, yes.
Lynette, do you?
Have a moment.
Wait.
I'm sorry. Gina insisted on.
Lynette!
Yeah, me neither.
Wait.
Oh, do you mean when we ran into you at the Flev Sandra? As I recall, you were only trying to look out for your sister.
Oh. Well, it sounds like Gina.
I understand that feeling of wanting to stand up for. But next time, maybe consider a different tactic. Something you can pull off more effectively.
Stop giving her ideas.
Why do I feel like I'm missing something here?
Hey, here you are. I was wondering.
Great! Everyone's in one place. That makes...
What do you think? It's group photo time. We have to... Okay, everyone, we all have pretty awkward...
Oh, am I really not a... I'll try...
Lynette, Traveler, come on.
3, 2, 1...
Smile! And with that, we complete the second ending. Man, it looks like it's taken out complete years. Okay, so where are we? Okay, there were 2 packs here as well. After successfully pursuing Lynette, the situation seems to have changed. What could have been the third path from here?
If you are presently unoccupied, perhaps we could...
Yeah! Got him!
So one was
I didn't like that.
go back, one was to investigate by ourselves.
Clearly, there's some design flaw. Let's see. 4.
What could be the third
Well,
way?
if you want to get the right... So, to put it another way, if... Or... Thank you. Here, take the... Also...
I'm not sure, let's leave this one to fate. How about you do neither? Help. Feel free to share it now that I have gotten good problem to help with. I don't need to run everything. My fate.
So, we're...
How do you plan to find Bonnie's owner? What did I have to do again? So that was not the changing point. We are already here. What would have been the third? The only possibility that remains is using the pedometer.
Clearly, there's some design flaw. Let's see. 4. Well, if you want to get the right... So, to put it another way, if... Or... Why don't you pick a card? Thank you. Here, take the... Also...
I'm not sure. Let's leave this one to fit. How about you do neither? Let's try this one. This applies both to your troop and to Bonnie's owner.
What you're saying is...
I can keep hanging
Is that really okay?
Well, Bonnie sure seems to like the idea. Persuasion, well, Bonnie seems to like the idea. Get more than 10, get more than 10.
Besides... So, we're looking for Bonnie's own...
No, I think I should have selected the third option. Do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again.
Huh, I didn't like that. Clearly, there's some design flaw. Let's see. 4. Well, if you want to get the right... So, to put it another way... Thank you. Here, take the... Also...
I'm not sure. Let's leave this one to fate.
Alright.
Okay, I'm success.
So, we're looking for Bonnie's owner? There's 20 cards. I should also mention, this time, to put in perspective...
So, card also does not look like the current option. Now only one possibility remains.
Huh, I didn't like that. Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out. Let's see. 4. Well, if you want to get the right answer... So, to put it another way, if... Or... Thank you. Here, take the... Also...
How about you do neither?
Huh? What you're... Is that really...
I've never won here now.
You make a good point.
We can just check it on everyone, so if anyone does come looking for you, they'll find you.
Okay, so, stick around here in standby mode? Yeah, that suits me. Oh, good idea. Bonnie's definitely hungry. May as well. We could be here a while.
Next, let's find a place to chill. Oh wow, that's all it needed. Doing nothing is the happiest thing. Herding is also done. So what I need next? These 2 endings. One from here, one from here. Let's just start with this.
Yeah! Skyward!
Close the case.
Now behave and follow.
That hurt.
They're about to leave. Is it really okay to let them go? What can I get more than 20? Not possible. So in this state I can do anything.
Is everything I still feel like also? No good. I've still got nothing. Alright. Let's go to the before my...
No. I think I should talk to Lynette first in this case. So, what are the endings? No.
The secrets of the mechanical arts are too profound to...
Something on your mind still?
It was that obvious, huh? We investigated so... Is there still any...
What about
Well...
We have already proven that Bernard could inspire Hangout by plucking for the open stretches of water. According to Chevrolet's investigation, Pyre has been formally reprimanded for the synthetics and can no longer get any material from the Fontaine's Research Institute. His writing in all of these letters have been burned, so can we no longer confirm or trace anything? Connections. Any past member of the letter will have probably a number of connections outside of Fontaine. But this letter says can be compensated for the article shipment. No suspicious record will be left as long as it is fun. Okay, let's just submit this.
There's no need to rush. The Mars Chaussee.
Why is Pyre a suspect? The Lefebvre family is infamous in Fontaine, and even their innocent scions became targets of revenge. But Pyre just carried the pendant with him as if he was an ordinary piece of... But another... But with all. According to the Bernard, the trafficked animals were taken directly to Pierre's base rather than to Poisson. Bonnie has been with Pierre ever since the first meeting between Pierre and the Central Museum. That's why LED came looking for her, but that shouldn't be all. According to Bernard, the traffic was taken directly to Pierre's base rather than to Poisson. So that's why Kyrie is a suspect. How can this be no long? Why is Kyrie
no need to
suspect? That was the answer.
Bernard claimed...
What's suspicious about the letter Bernard received in the lost cat Bonnie? Bonnie had already been on the loose for the few days when he found her yesterday morning. That means she was already broken free when the letter was written. The point of letter was to tell Bernard on his guard, then why did it also want it about Bonnie? The letter did not mention Pirate Harry's spot, although it makes sense that Pierre wouldn't want anyone to find him. Regardless of whether he can with himself, it's no longer something that we can follow up on. So I think the only thing that's his escape location.
There's no need to run.
I think I will have to do it again.
Now behave.
That hurt.
Nothing I can do.
Is everything I still feel also?
Yep. I just noticed we have a skip option. I will have to find the endings from the choices. And that will start with Lynette.
We investigated. Is there still?
Okay, there's another strange part in the operation of the traffic. Is there anything else that is difficult to explain? What if the chef that apparently followed it and can no longer get any materials? Now materials is not that difficult. We have already proven that Bernard's got his hand over Tika. That's not also difficult. What's The ledger. Bernard can be compensated for its work after completing a shipment. No suspicious reward as long as the funds are individual rather than through the human society. Communication. They always communicated in writing and all the letters have been burned, so we can no longer confirm or twist anything. Any past member of the level would probably have a number of connections outside of Fontaine. Bernard can be compensated for his work after completing a shipment. No suspicious records would be left as long as he receives the funds from an individual rather than through the human society. According to Sheb, rules by the were getting materials from the Fontaine Research Institute. But could have been connections, all the ledger, everything seems legit to me.
Yeah, according to Bernard, Pierre also supplied all of the goods.
But he also had connections.
The Marechaussee Phantom found Bonnie.
Why is Pierre a suspect? When in Fontaine and even their innocent clients became targets of revenge, but Paris carried the pen and with him for the normal piece of jewelry. The pattern of the business will be family, but that shouldn't be all. According to Bernard, the crew directly to Pierre's face rather than to Poison. Bonnie has been with Pierre ever since the beginning in pattern content, and that's validity I'm looking for, but that shouldn't be all. That's associated with this. Okay, initial suspicion. Pierre became the key suspect in this case because of a suspicious cat and a suspicious pendant.
Why would he leave such an obvious trail for us? Bernard claims to have received a letter last night from...
What's suspicious about the letter Bernard received? Escape location? Method, the lost cat falling. Then why didn't it also warn him about Bonnie? But it's the letter's purpose.
If Bonnie had imitation synth in her body, then and thinking about it, could it be that the person who... The final question is, why did I sense that something wasn't right
even
after...
more so than before? The truth behind this testimony is... Pierre made such a complicated operations plan, yet also exposed himself so easily to the investigation cards. Does Pierre have multiple personalities? Both written letters and handoffs using floating barrels are methods of communication that can be intercepted. Bernard has never met Pierre in person. Ooh la la. So we are getting multiple personality disorder from Bernard. When Bernard himself never knew that it wasn't Pierre that had been pulling his strings all along, it was someone else. Nice.
Deductive mode deactivated.
I think we may be close to the actual answer.
Now behave and follow me.
That hurt.
They're about to be Australia. 5, 5, 5. Finally, I have already 20 points. We can later get away. Hold it right here.
Is there something else you
Bernard
need from me,
Pierre,
traveler?
They weren't really acting alone, were they?
I see. It all makes...
Hey, what are you talking about?
Okay, she's
Look,
the one
even
who
our
came
confessed
for the
criminal
cat
here has no
before.
idea what you're
Nice.
saying.
Because he has been kept in the dark all along. And I assume it's the same with Pierre.
From Bernard. But for all this time, neither of them knew that there was a third person all along.
That never quite added up for me.
Animals
Why did
carry
Pierre
seeds
feel
from the
compelled to
villains
return
that
to his
did
home
not
with Bonnie and the pendant,
and
and make them so easy to find for the Marechaussee Phantom? Both of these things are in stark contrast to his usual meticulous... He probably received the following instructions right before the Phantom came knocking on his door. Unbeknownst to him, however, the third person who wrote that...
What? You can't be...
If you focus only on Bernard's testimony, it's easy to believe that only Bernard...
Wait. But that doesn't make any sense.
Yep, Which is why once they had instructed Pierre to expose himself, the third person wrote to Pierre again, suggesting that everything had been taken care of. Of course, Pierre's disappearance at such a sensitive time immediately made him a prime suspect. All the third person would have to do from that point on would be to lead the Phantom to investigate the Humane Society and get Bernard to confess.
Wait, so you're saying that the letter I received yesterday, the one that...
Is that what happened?
Chevra said that assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. Someone among us, however, they suggested that Pierre's disappearance was an attempted, but if the disappearance is truly just a cover-up for a murder, then couldn't the true sign have been an illegitimate daughter, rather than an illegitimate son?
Huh?
Haven't you taken this joke a bit too far? You're right.
You deliberately fed us lies. But even you could not control every last Getting the Marechaussee Phantom to notice Pierre was only the first part, and you couldn't predict what they might possibly find, if given enough time. As someone accustomed to acting from behind the scenes, you didn't... Once the Phantom expanded their search, it wouldn't be long until the Phantom would figure out exactly how she had been mistreated. It was probably during your ambush of... Still, you soon found, like Bernard, you desperately wanted to confirm the contents of her stomach, so you hurried to find us. Unlike Bernard, while investigating the suspect's cat, we unexpectedly discovered that the suspect has been smuggling imitation synth using Bonnie had managed to escape before Pierre was able to stuff her full of imitation synth. That part of your plan could no longer be. You manipulated the Traveler and I to help you identify Bernard as a key suspect. You used the Lefebvre name as bait to get us to join your investigation. With 2 extra bodies around, the Special Patrol is sure to soon take note of the strange event of Bernard somehow...
So, what you're saying is, I went to...
Of course, you did far more than that.
Oh...
You even highlighted the Society's activities during your compilation. Moreover, the logs...
And what are you trying to suggest with that?
I am insinuating that you had plenty of opportunities to transfer the raw materials for imitation synth from the harbor to a boat.
As long as you did pick in the Paracam for the sticker, there been no...
And that's how neither the trafficker nor the manufacturer knew there was...
After all, you said the raw materials...
Pierre having received the...
I can't believe...
So, what do you think she's going to say next?
Have you thought about the career in writing crime novels? Do you have any evidence?
You know very well that way you can... but you still want to do that. The location would ideally allow you to keep the body hidden for some time, while also letting you keep an eye on it.
Later, an example of placing somebody on board was set aside
There are only so many especially since...
How... Elodie Lefebvre! As the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol...
That's right. We received a message from Lumidus Harbor that you were going to...
While at the harbor, we noticed something else extremely And if one were to match the times of your shifts to the activities of the...
Yes, I'm sure you have already thought of a dozen different ways to explain away the suspicion.
Don't worry. If it turns out that the guards are still unable to find any...
Although judging by her reaction, I assume...
The Lefebvres were in...
Judging from the timeline, they...
Not only that, you brutally and...
So...
They were worthless. I lost all I had to... Do you...
I don't, and neither do I care.
No one asked about your past. You can save this piece for the trial.
Are you...
Elodie.
That's enough.
What a joke. What a joke! Hey! Don't come any...
What's that?
Know what this is? Whether they're cats, dog... Shirley, you bunch of goody...
Launch a sneak attack on Elodie while she is distracted. Try to convince Elodie to surrender. Help Chevreuse to intimidate Elodie. Assist Lynette in deceiving Elodie. Oh man. Let's assist Lynette. 9.
I can understand how you feel. But if you were to endanger innocence now for your own, and the families of the new victims would be...
And what?
I'll be your hostage, Elodie.
What?
Thanks for your concern, Traveler. But we need to end... I'll raise my hands and come over slowly.
I'm watching you. Don't...
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Ah!
She's struck by a hard blow from behind.
Phew. So I was right after all. This is it. Looks like it's...
Guess that's probably why she suddenly flipped and knocked out Bernard. He probably knew that there were no explosives at the system.
Well, given that she never even showed her face to Bernard and Pierre, I had my...
Thank you for your help, everyone.
I'll take... if statements... I still need to go back...
Oh, you said I could stop by your place.
Ah, so you do remember. Once I'm done talking with the troop...
We are still not done. I like how the both are lying down. Please pick them up, bro.
Yeah, skyward.
Want some?
Of tea, please. Tea, please.
Ah, I see she's already starting to snuggle up. Not at all. Plus, if you just think about it, what sounds more fun? Writing a statement or... Great answer. Had we not run into that case, we could have spent the entire day like that. You're right. I can sense it. I'm Something about her rubbed me the wrong way. Elodie tried. Not everyone who likes cats is a good human sense. She took a liking.
Only one ending remains. We can do this. So we got a picture where everyone is together. Storyline summary. At the conclusion, it seems all the conflicts have been resolved. Continue playing. Fresh Memoria. Operatic.
Yeah.
Thank you. I always told myself. Just like those critics with their... You're right. Anyway, I've been looking...
Ah, yes.
Okay, so what's
Lynette...
your next?
I'm sorry. Lynette...
Yes, Lynette. Wait and see how
that letter...
What?
Sheena?
Director, it's time for... Oh, okay.
I
think we came at a bad...
Lynette, Sheena must have been worried sick about me.
Jillian, no! This is completely my fault, and I'm the
one. Since maybe we could just...
Really?
After all, Gina wouldn't be the first... In any case, I think we can...
But still... I was wrong to write that letter.
If that's... The crew could always use an extra hand.
Thank you, Lynette.
Opera House at Lynette's location. Wait, the show's about to start.
Is it?
What is the button?
I'm so much...
Oh,
Mary
wow.
said she's a very promising... Freedom and... I'm happiest when I get to sit in a quiet place, watch them do their thing, and cheer them on.
That's Lynette. Who don't want to sit in a quiet place and watch people do their thing and just enjoy your life?
Yep, exactly like I'm doing now.
Oh yeah. Finally, we have done the Hangout event of Lynette. Man, it took hours to complete. And I was tired so much, and I think I'm going to sleep now. I'm just going to rest and just enjoy my life. But yeah guys, that was all from the Lynette's Hangout event. It was pretty interesting. At the initial stage it was so much boring. All we had to do was talk without any way of going forward. But luckily 2 points
If
was
you are
really
presently
small,
unoccupied, perhaps we could stop a while.
it was great. Yeah. So let's see you again in another time, or in another video, or in another stream. Let the fate decide when we meet again. So until next time, have a great time.